Hello, beautiful souls. It's Emily with Twins in Union. I hope that this video finds you doing well. The last couple of weeks have been rather intense. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the energies, and then I have a Twin Flame Collective reading for us to look at the energies around this spring equinox and the full moon in Libra. So, as always, I just want to take a quick moment and say a warm welcome to all of my new subscribers. Thank you so much for being here and joining me on this journey. And thank you, as always, for your likes, for your shares, for your wonderful comments. I just truly enjoy connecting with you and hearing from you and hearing how the readings are resonating and supporting you and guiding you. It just really makes me feel good to know that I'm helping someone out there, so I truly appreciate hearing from you. And as always, thank you to everyone who has purchased readings with me, coaching sessions with me. I just really am honored to support you and guide you in your journey and to just see your progress and hear how things are unfolding and just to be a witness to your process. So thank you so much. And okay, so the energies. We had that Pisces new moon a couple of weeks ago, and that really stirred up a lot of stuff, old wounds for healing and purification. So if the last couple of weeks have felt rather intense, rather emotional, you know, it's a sign that you are clearing out a lot of old stuff and doing a lot of healing work. So give yourself a pat on the back. It's been challenging. This has also been a time of purification and detoxification on a physical level. So if you haven't been going through the emotional purification and detoxification or the mental purification and detoxification, maybe you are going through a physical purification, changing your diet, doing some fasting. It's that time of year where we're just really cleaning up a lot of stuff on every level, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually, so that we can continue to rise up in our ascension process. So yes, a lot of deep work, a lot of intense healing and purification work. If you have felt like you've had a setback in your connection, this is part of that process. And I know it can feel really, you know, disappointing or going into a state of like feeling hopeless. But these setbacks are part of this ascension cycle, and we need to keep that in mind, that we are going in a spiral. We're circling around and around and up and up. And so in order to, I think of it like a slinky. So if you guys remember that toy from like the 70s and 80s called a slinky, it's like I look at ascension like that. And so it's like before we can go up to the next ring on the spiral of the slinky, we have to go back around and then we go up. So it can feel like we're having a setback when we're going back around, but then we clear that out and then we rise up to the next level. So sometimes we have to go down into these dark places, have this old stuff stirred up and brought back up to the surface so that we can clear that, and then we can graduate and move to the next level up in our ascension. So point being, if it feels like you're having a setback, it's not really a setback, even though it looks like it's a setback. It's actually supporting you and clearing what needs to be cleared so that you can move up to the next level. So just trust the process and allow what needs to come up for healing and clearing and purification to come up and be released and healed. So yeah, that Pisces new moon we had a couple of weeks ago really brought up a lot. And we also have Mercury retrograde in Pisces. So we still are dealing with a lot of this Piscean energy of heart healing, creating boundaries. We're working within the realm of communication with Mercury, so it's bringing heart healing and bringing this sensitivity, speaking from the heart through our communication, communication that can bring about healing, communicating boundaries. And Mercury retrograde asks us to take time to go within and to really reevaluate, reassess, slow down, do the inner spiritual work. And Pisces is water, Pisces is healing. So really taking time to work on emotional healing, heart healing in this slowing down, in this reassessment period, in this time of going within. So yeah, it's just, it's been intense energies for sure. So just be really gentle with yourself right now. Keep this in mind as, you know, things are coming up. And then we have the spring equinox and the Libra full moon on March 20th or 21st, depending on where you live. We also have the sun moving into the sign of Aries. So with the equinox and the Libra full moon, that's this beautiful energy of harmonization and balance. So we have equal amount of day, which is the masculine yang energy, with the equal amount of feminine, which is the yin, the night energy. So equal feminine, masculine, equal day and night. So this balancing and harmonization. And then with Libra, Libra is the sign of the scales, and I felt guided to just share this card from the Energy Oracle deck, the contract card, which I just see as Libra energy here with the scales. And it is about justice, it is about harmony, balance, bringing things into a state of equilibrium. And Libra rules the 7th house in the zodiac wheel. So that is the house of relationships. So bringing harmony, balance, equilibrium into relationships, looking at where things are out of balance using this Mercury retrograde period of going within to assess where are things out of balance, and then how can we create balance? How can we take action, communication to create more harmony and balance within our relationships? Libra is an air sign, so it governs the mental realm and communication, and it is also ruled by the planet Venus, and Venus rules love and beauty and harmony. So, so it's a beautiful sign, a beautiful energy, and I think that with this Libra full moon, we are just really going to be looking at where there needs to be balance restored in our connections. It's also just, you know, going back to this card, it's like justice, it's associated with the legal system. So where have there been injustices? Where do things need to be brought into justice? So yeah, it's that beautiful harmonization energy. We also have that sun moving into Aries, so that's that energy of renewal, rebirth. It's like the spark, the ignition, the fire of the new beginning. So Pisces was wrapping up a lot of old cycles, things that needed to be closed out, things that needed to be brought to an end. Sorry, it looks like my camera is glitching. I don't know why it's doing that. Now we have the sun moving into Aries, so we are being ignited with that spark of passion. It is, I'm seeing it in the surroundings with spring here in the Northern Hemisphere where I live. We actually had snow today, but despite the snow on St. Patrick's Day, I see beautiful little purple crocuses coming up in my yard, and I see little buds popping out on my trees, and I hear a lot of birds chirping. I've seen mourning doves are back. I don't know if I've seen any robins yet, but there's just the signs of life, signs of spring, signs of hope, signs of renewal. So this is this energy that Aries is bringing in the spring equinox. So yeah, closing out old cycles and getting ready to begin new cycles. And I see this coming through the cards. I also just see and feel as I'm tuning into the collective energy that there are some heavy energies that we're still working out here. So I do think that this reading can help give you clarity and guidance and bring you healing if you are still working through some challenging energies. So hang in there. So I think I'm going to leave it at that for the energy update, and then I will turn the camera towards the cards and we can start to get a closer look at these energies, how this equinox, how this full moon will be impacting us as a collective. And yeah, so here we go. Okay, let me get my camera straightened out. Okay. So, this is my full union spread. It looks at the divine masculine energies over on this side, the divine feminine energies on this side, and the union in the center here. I also felt guided to just pull an overall energy for us. So this is just looking at a general overall energy surrounding us at this time. So I will start with this card. Really quick, the decks that I am using, I like to acknowledge the creators of the decks. We have the Energy Oracle by Sandra Ann Taylor to look at the energies with these blue cards. Clarifying the energies, we have the Arcanum Tarot with artwork by Renata Lechner. And for the overall energy that I was just describing, we have the Crystal Mandala Oracle by Alana Fairchild. And then at the very end, I will be doing advice and guidance for us from the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. So I think that covers all of the decks. Please keep in mind this is a collective reading, so some of it might resonate, some of it might not. It's just looking at our entire soul group, what's happening right now. If you would like a personal reading, I do offer that. If you feel guided to purchase a reading, you can visit twinsinunion.com, where I have all of my spreads listed and you can choose what works for you. I also have information in the description box below if you want to check that out. So let's see, to get started, I think I will start with this overall energy from the Crystal Mandala. So I just asked Spirit, what is the overall energy surrounding the twin flames at the time of this full moon in Libra and the spring equinox? And so the card that came up is this beautiful Divine Alchemy card. And this is associated with the Ascended Master, Mary Magdalene. So alchemy is a process of transmutation, and this twin flame connection, it is a transformational love. It is an alchemical love. It's an alchemical marriage. So what does that mean? That means that we have to go through a lot of healing and transformation and purification and clearing in order to move into our union, in order to come into a state of oneness with our beloved. So we are doing a lot of balancing of energies, healing of energies, clearing out old energies, harmonizing energies. This is a lot of that Libra energy coming in. And I feel like the Aries energy is like the fire that is the bringing in the alchemy. Alchemy involves using fire and transforming lead into gold. So it's just, I feel like the Aries energy is bringing in this fire element that is helping with the transmutation and the healing and the clearing, so that we can take the heavy energies in our connections and transmute them into the beautiful spiritual golden energy. And again, this is moving us closer and closer and moving us more and more fully into the energy of true union with our beloved. So I'm just going to read from the book here to give us deeper insight of what these energies are surrounding us right now. Divine Alchemy. We bring you the blessing of Divine Alchemy. Divine Alchemy is the art of transmutation, the application of spiritual consciousness into physical form, so profound that an entirely new form evolves. It is irreversible change. It is the coal transformed into the diamond, the lead of sleeping matter awakened into the radiant gold of consciousness. Successful alchemical transformation requires patience, courage, and a belief in the power of spirit above all else. The radical and permanent transformation effected by divine alchemy may seem miraculous to the outsider viewing the changed form. Yet, the alchemist knows that when spiritual consciousness meets physical matter, the world will never be the same again. So this is this process that we are in right now of elevating our consciousness, elevating our awareness. And once we shift into a state of higher awareness and consciousness, there is no going back. We may come back and revisit these things in order to clear them on a deeper level, but we're clearing it from a state of higher awareness. So this is really powerful, what we are doing as a twin flame collective right now. And we are here to bring deep healing to the planet, to bring awakening to the planet, to assist in elevating the planetary consciousness. And so it's through all of this hard work that we're doing in our connections that we are like having a ripple effect on all of humanity and the planet and the universe through this beautiful mission that we are on. So really powerful energy, so please don't forget this. Keep this in your mind, keep this in your heart as you are moving through these challenging cycles, releasing and purifying and healing, that this is the alchemy. It's through the power of the healing that you are doing, through the spiritual work that you are doing, the inner work that you are doing, that you are bringing beautiful change into your connection and into the world, into the planet, into the universe. Taking the heavy lead and turning it into gold, and then taking that spiritual gold and bringing it into the physical 3D like the lead. So it goes both ways, taking lead into gold and bringing gold into the physical lead. So it's really powerful. So just remember how powerful you are. Remember how powerful your mission is. Remember how amazing this work is that you're doing. And through keeping that perspective of that you're in an alchemical process and coming into an alchemical marriage with your beloved, it can just, help give us perspective when things do get challenging. And keeping that higher perspective can just make all of the difference. Okay, underlying energies, really quick from the bottoms of the decks. Kind of goes along with this. We have the temple path. So again, this is our ascension. There's this spiral here. We're going up the steps to this beautiful gold solid union. This is what we are rising up towards as we are doing this healing work. And on the bottom of the deck of the tarot, we have the Six of Swords. So we are moving forward. We are moving out of turbulent, rough waters here, challenging times, heavy times, difficult emotions, and we are moving forward. We're moving toward smoother waters, calmer waters. We're taking all of the challenging lessons that we have learned, and we are moving forward wiser and stronger with greater consciousness and awareness. And then I feel guided to share the bottom of the deck from the Wisdom of the Oracle too. We have a change in the wind. And so I feel like with this spring energy, this Aries energy coming in, we also just had the planet Uranus move into Taurus, which is that energy of swift change, unexpected change, shock, revelation. There's change in the air. Things are shifting. Major shift is happening. So it's a shift that is helping to bring more harmony, more balance, more equilibrium into our relationships, into our connections. So just some things to keep in mind about what energies are surrounding us right now, and what we are moving through. Okay, so for the Divine Masculine, I asked Spirit, what is the Divine Masculine thinking regarding his connection with his beloved feminine at the time of this spring equinox and full moon in Libra? So I have a couple of cards here. So the first card that came up is appreciation, and then the second card that came up is rest and rejuvenation. So right away when I look at these, I just see a lot of the Mercury retrograde energy here, where I feel like the Divine Masculine is really taking time to go within, going into this space of internal contemplation, reflection, reassessing, reevaluating, just contemplating the connection, and that he's thinking from this place of, this is a card of duality. So you can see this woman is holding this rose here. So it's like as he's in this kind of contemplative state going within, he's kind of just going back and forth in his mind. And you can see there's a lot of light on this side shining on the roses, and then it's darker over here. And there's just like these thorny bramble bushes. So I feel like this is the Divine Masculine going back and forth in his mental state, where he's just trying to get clarity on the connection, and he has this appreciation for the connection that represents this beautiful rose and the light. And at the same time, it's like there are these things that are uncertain, that are unclear, that he's not sure about, that feel like a tricky situation, or just like potential thorns that could create pain for him, and he's just contemplating all of that. And I'm just really noticing how this woman, she's just standing very tall and straight and stiff, like she just doesn't look very relaxed or very comfortable. So I feel like in his mind, he's just kind of maybe in like a rigid place, and he's needing to just take this time out and reassess things, to find the balance between the light and the dark, to find the balance between the thorn and the rose. And so this is part of him going within during this Mercury retrograde, trying to find a balance between the beauty of the connection, the gratitude he feels for the connection, his appreciation for the feminine, his appreciation for what the feminine and what this connection brings into his life. But I feel like there's just, like she can't totally relax, like there's these fears still of these thorns. And we have to remember that with true love, there are thorns with the rose. That is what true love is. It wouldn't be true love if the thorns weren't there. So I just feel like that's kind of representing the Divine Masculine still having some fears that he's sorting out in his mind, still having some conflicts that he's sorting out in his mind. But at the same time, knowing how beautiful this connection is, knowing how much he loves and appreciates his feminine and cares for her, but still just needing to have this like time out for healing in the mental realm. And this is a 15, which adds up to a 6. So 6 is that number of finding the balance, finding the equilibrium, finding the harmony, finding the equality, finding the balance between the light and the dark, the thorn and the rose. And then with the 19 here, it adds up to a 10. 1 is a new beginning, 9 is coming to a completion, and then we add the 9 and the 1 and we get a 10. So it's like trying to close out a cycle here, closing out a cycle of old mental patterns that are this like back and forth kind of energy going on in his mind. And clarifying this, we have quite a few cards that wanted to come out. So I feel like with this appreciation card, it's the 7 of Wands and 7 of Swords. So I feel like this is like the Divine Masculine being in this kind of rigid stance, like how I was saying, how she's just kind of stiff. Like being in this rigid mental stance where he could be just kind of shutting out his feminine right now, or blocking out his feminine because he needs this time to go within. He could be putting up walls, but it's like ultimately he's trying to clear out these obstacles and these barriers in his mind. But in order to do that, he might just need to really pull back and withdraw. He could be in kind of a defensive stance here, not very open, like I was saying, not very relaxed or rigid. And then we have the 7 of Swords. So we have 7 of Wands, 7 of Swords, so 77. So this is about having a breakthrough on your spiritual path, being able to clear these obstacles in his mind, clear these obstacles, these illusions, this Pisces energy with the Mercury retrograde in Pisces. Pisces is also about illusions. So I feel like there are illusions that the Divine Masculine may be holding onto in his mental space that need to be cleared. And so this Mercury retrograde and him taking the time to go within is helping to clear that out. And with the 7 of Swords, I feel like this is the Divine Masculine dealing with these fears of betrayal that have taken place either in karmic relationships or just in other aspects of his life, but he may be projecting that onto his feminine somehow, where he's like, part of these thorns and these bramble bushes here is like, am I going to be hurt again? Will I be betrayed again? Can I trust this? Working through these fears, these thorns of potential pain. Can I trust this connection, or am I going to get hurt again? Needing to take some time to go within and just get clarity and clear those thoughts. And then the other clarification card we have with the rest and rejuvenation is Judgment. So I feel like this is the Divine Masculine having that awakening, really rising up. It's like the rebirth that is coming with the spring equinox, where he's taking time to go within, to heal, to clear out old thought patterns that are not serving him anymore, to rise above the illusions, to see the truth, and to really elevate his consciousness, elevate his awareness to a new level here, going through the rebirth, rising up, the phoenix rising from the ashes, starting to see things clearly again. If your masculine has blocked you or pulled back or withdrawn or distanced himself, he's taking valuable time here to do healing work. So there is this rebirth here that is happening. A lot happening here for the Divine Masculine. And again, I just feel like it's this Mercury retrograde energy. It goes direct on March 28th. So we've still got, a couple more weeks yet. But it is this internal energy. It is taking that time out for reflection and healing work. So then I asked Spirit, what is the Divine Masculine feeling regarding his connection with his beloved? And a couple cards came up. We have Storm Warning and the Sun. So I thought this was absolutely beautiful when we put these cards together. I feel like this Storm Warning is the Divine Masculine in his heart, how he's feeling about this connection. This has been like an internal storm. So this is like a storm going on internally within his emotional body, within his heart chakra, just, feeling all of these intense emotions rising up within him. And that's what this Piscean energy is doing. It's bringing up all of these intense emotions for healing, for clearing out. This tornado is coming through and clearing out all the obstacles, clearing out all of the old patterns, everything that's got to go in order to clear the path to union, to bring in the light. So I just feel like he's been in this state of like an internal struggle, an internal emotional storm, trying to get clarity in all of it. And just, I also really feel like this storm kind of represents a lot of the past energy. And so, like I was saying, it's this Piscean energy that is bringing up stuff from the past, bringing up old cycles, bringing up old wounds that need to be brought to the surface for this healing to happen and to be cleared out. So I feel like this is just like emotional stuff from the past. It could be, shame about things that have happened, whether that's stuff with his feminine or stuff from other connections in general, or a combination of both. I feel like this could be emotional insecurities coming up within him, and that he's having to confront these fears, confront these insecurities, things that he wishes he could have done differently, like worries about how can I please my feminine, how should I approach my feminine. Just a lot of emotional stuff coming up. And this is a 10, so this is the completion. It's like all this stuff that's been stirred up, it's like the tornado's moving through, the rains are coming through and washing it all out. It's purification, it's cleansing, it's renewal, and it's wrapping up those old cycles. And then here we have the sun, which is the number 1. This is the renewal. This is the beautiful Aries energy coming in. This is the light and the fire. The sun is growing stronger as we move forward from the equinox towards the summer solstice. And again, it's like this woman is in this bath of water here. She's being fully supported by nature. And it's like this baptismal renewal, this beautiful rebirth, like this cleansing water that's washing over the divine masculine's heart and renewing him, bringing him back to life, bringing the spark, bringing the light, bringing the ignition, bringing the fire, bringing the illumination of the sun, where he's starting to see and feel things clearly now. I'm hearing the song, I Can See Clearly Now, the Rain Is Gone. I don't know who sings that, but it's just such a lovely song. So I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. No, I cannot sing. So I won't make you listen to my horrible singing. But that song, I'm just really connecting with that energy here. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. So it's like the divine masculine has gone through this internal struggle, this internal emotional turmoil, this internal storm, and he's coming out on the other side. He's seeing things clearly. He's moving through those illusions. He's moving through those fears. And he's seeing the light. And with the number 1, this is the new beginning. This is the fresh start. This is the blossom and the bloom. There's just so much nature happening here. There's just little tree branches with little pink blossoms all over them and little leaves sprouting and creativity flowing and abundance flowing. So really beautiful heart energy here. And so clarifying the storm warning, let's look at that more deeply. We have the Hermit and the 8 of Wands. So what this is telling me is that this storm warning is also connected to this like Mercury retrograde in Pisces energy, where he's just really going within. He's really doing this soul searching in his heart. He's looking for the light of truth within his heart and his soul. He's getting clarity. So, he's in solitude here. He's needing this time to really figure things out, to get clarity. And then with the Eight of Wands, things are moving forward here. The light is coming in, there's movement, there's action. This is Cupid's arrows of love moving towards the feminine. This is that beautiful Aries energy coming in, the fire, the passion, where he's ready to take action again. And then with the Sun, beautiful clarification cards for that. We have the Lovers and the Six of Cups. So I feel like this is that powerful divine love, soul connection. He's like feeling the pull in his heart, feeling the draw of this connection, feeling the strength of the bond with his divine feminine. And with the Six of Cups, this is the beautiful coming together. This is the vulnerability. I always see this card as just like being in that sweet, innocent, childlike nature. You can see there's children on here. And for twin flames, it's just so much a part of our connection is like when we are connecting, when we are together, when we are feeling each other's vibration, we go back to this place of childlike innocence. It's just when we're in a place of harmony and, feeling the beauty of the connection, it's just that really beautiful, playful, fun, sweet, pure, innocent, lighthearted energy. And it's just also very raw, very, very like from the heart, very vulnerable. So I feel like this Sun that he's feeling in his heart is just like, I just feel this beautiful heart opening that's just really tender and really pure. This is after the rain. This is the Sun coming in. This is the masculine's heart being purified, seeing things clearly, being back in this beginning state, like this, they talk about like a beginner state of mind. I feel like this is like a beginner state of heart where he's just in this really sweet, tender, innocent, pure energy, what he's feeling for his feminine, what he's feeling about this connection. And really feeling the beauty of it, feeling this renewal in his heart. So I feel like this storm that he's moving through in his heart is just a lot of the fear, the anxiety, the shame, the emotional baggage from the past that he's just got to clear out. And then he's moving into this beautiful state of renewal, illumination, healing, the Sun coming in. And he's just going to have like this beautiful, soft, tender, purity in his heart that he's feeling with his beloved. So beautiful. So yeah, I feel like this is a lot of this alchemy that I was talking about. The storm coming in and then the Sun coming in after the storm has cleared. Okay, and then I asked Spirit, what comes to mind when the Divine Masculine thinks of his Divine Feminine? So we have a couple more cards here. We have the Journey card, and we have Second Chakra Archangel Ariel. So with the Journey card, I feel like what comes to mind when the Divine Masculine thinks of his feminine is just being on this spiritual path. I just really, whenever I tune into the energy of this card, I feel the energy of the Fool. And I feel like this is connected to the Aries energy too, where it's like this new beginning. Like he's on the path, he's on this bridge, he has the light of the divine shining down to show the path, to show his way forward. He also has his little light within, like kind of like we saw with the Hermit card there. So he has his internal light, he has divine light guiding him on his path. And this is taking that leap of faith to continue to move forward, continuing to trust in the journey, even though it might feel like a little dark, a little uncertain. Maybe there are thorns, maybe there are fears, maybe there are insecurities. But ultimately, his soul knows the truth of his path. His soul knows the truth and the light of what direction he needs to go. So this is about taking a leap of faith, moving into a new beginning, trusting and continuing to move forward one step at a time. Even though, you know, like in his mind, he might be working through some conflict in his heart. He's clearing out some emotional baggage, but he still wants to keep moving forward towards his feminine. This is a number 2, so this is another number of balance. It's also a number of divine partnership. So yeah, trusting in the journey, continuing to move forward towards this divine partnership. And then we also have the sacral chakra with Archangel Ariel. So I feel like part of what he wants to move towards in this journey, what he's wanting, what he's desiring, what's continuing to help him to move towards his feminine, to keep him on the path, is this second chakra, Archangel Ariel energy. So I feel like this is the divine masculine feeling that pull, like with the Lovers card, where it's just the passion that he feels for his feminine. When he thinks about her, this passion just like wells up inside of him that's just beyond his control. I just feel a lot of sexual energy here, and the clarifying cards also were revealing that, where it's just this connection is so driven by the fire of passion and by the deep intimacy, the deep, not only physical intimacy, but the soul intimacy, the emotional intimacy, it's just Archangel Ariel, she works with abundance. So I feel like it's just this connection when he thinks about his feminine, it just makes him, it fills him up inside in a way that nothing else does. And it's just ignited with this passion and this desire that he's never experienced before. And it's this passion and this powerful sexual energy and this strong bond that is part of what keeps us coming back together. It's part of how we are magnets. It's part of how God designed us, because it's part of what fuels our connection. It's part of what fuels our spiritual path, is this beautiful passion that we feel for each other. So I'm just really feeling that here. And so it's like this passion, this fire that wells up inside of him is what is driving him forward in this journey. And so clarifying these, we have the King of Wands for the journey card. So this is being in that more mature, more elevated masculine energy here, where he is stepping into this powerful king energy, where it's like, I know what I want. I'm ambitious. I've got this fire in me. I've got this drive in me, and I've just got to keep moving forward. I've got to keep moving towards what I know my true passion is, like in his heart and his soul and his whole being. He just feels the fire and the drive and the power to move forward and continue to go after what it is that he knows that he wants. And then clarifying the second chakra, Archangel Ariel, we have the Devil. So again, like I was saying, I just really feel a lot of sexual energy here, that when the masculine's thinking about his divine feminine, it's like this overwhelming passion, fire, sexual energy is coming up in him. And I feel like with this Devil here too, that some divine masculines may be really struggling with this. and having trouble accepting this energy, where maybe they're even trying to repress this energy and deny this energy and hold back from this energy, because the devil has to do with our true desires, the things that bring us pleasure. And we can be, you know, in an over excessive, or we can be in under, where we're like repressing it. So I feel like, you know, some divine masculines might be trying to repress this energy. Some divine masculines might really be feeling this energy very strongly, and it might scare them, or, you know, I just get a lot of mixed feelings here. But it's ultimately like this passion and this drive that is really welling up inside of him when he thinks about his feminine. So I feel like it could go both ways. Again, this is general. So some divine masculines may really be moving forward quickly in this journey because they are fueled by this passion, and some divine masculines may be struggling to reconcile and accept this energy that's welling up in them. And so, but I feel like, you know, with this King of Wands here, a lot of divine masculines really are in their king energy, where they're clear, they know what they want, they are going to go after it, and they're going to continue to move forward on this journey. So, yeah, really powerful energies coming up there. Okay, so let's take a look at what is happening with the divine feminine. So how is the divine feminine, what is she thinking when she thinks about her connection with her divine masculine? So we have Archangel Chamuel in reverse, and this is connected with the third chakra. So I feel like when I'm connecting with this, I feel like there's some divine feminines that are feeling very challenged in their connections right now, especially in the mental space, where they're just really struggling. I feel like maybe with the Libra energy here that there's some kind of an imbalance here, where she's thinking about how her divine masculine, maybe there has been some form of an injustice, or maybe there has just been where the masculine's energy seems upside down, imbalanced, that he's not fully aligned with his authentic divine masculine self. And so the divine feminine is just really thinking about how her masculine, like, I just am getting, you know, like, I really don't care for this phrase, but this is what I'm getting, is like, man up. And just the divine feminine is kind of like wanting the divine masculine to come forward in his divine masculine energy, where he's aligned, where he's confident, where he's authentic, where he's communicating clearly, you know, and I don't know. I feel like the divine feminines have really been going through a challenging time, and I'm really feeling this energy as I'm tuning into the feminine right now, where she's just feeling like some kind of injustice has been done, and she's just not pleased right now, not having very pleasant thoughts about the divine masculine. Just really, I'm getting injustice. Injustice and man up are what I'm hearing. So let's look at the clarifying cards for this. So there were a lot of clarifying cards. I feel like one kind of sums them all up. So these, and again, this came out in reverse. The divine feminine had a lot of reversals. So we have, this came up in reverse, and then we have 3 clarifying cards that came up in reverse. We have the wheel, the star, and the world. So this is 3 major arcanas. So something has happened here where the divine feminine, I feel like she's just having really challenging thoughts. Maybe some of these thoughts are within her that are challenging her confidence in the connection. This is third chakra, so this is about your personal power, your self-esteem, your self-confidence, taking positive action in the world, connecting with your higher self, being aligned with your higher self. And so I just, with these clarifying cards, this is saying something has happened that has taken a turn for the worse. Maybe something unexpected happened. Like I said, over here, we have the masculine really retreating, really going within, maybe putting up blocks, maybe distancing himself from the feminine, shutting the feminine out in some way. But something has taken a turn for the worse. And the divine feminine may be feeling like, or thinking, since we're looking at her mental space, like thinking, you know, my wish isn't coming true. This isn't going to happen. You know, everything's turned upside down. My dreams are falling apart. You know, this is a card about healing, though. So I do feel like there's just whatever has happened where things took a turn for the worse. This is bringing in healing. But she may not have had things play out according to her wish fulfillment here. And then we have the World card. So the World card is, you know, it's referring back to closing out a cycle, something that needed to be released, something that needed to come to a close. So this healing that's happening here with the Star card, it's closing out this cycle. And so, like I said, it's this Mercury retrograde in Pisces. This is a tough one. And so we are doing a lot of emotional healing. We are closing out old cycles. And then this final clarifying card just kind of sums it all up. We have the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords is the end of a difficult situation. So whatever this is that has come up for the divine feminine, where, you know, she's just really struggling here in her mental space. This was something painful. This was something, you know, that may have felt like stabbed in the heart, stabbed in the back, something, but it came to an end. It was divinely guided. This is so much divine orchestration here with all of these major arcanas. So whatever happened that has been such a painful experience, this closed out a cycle that was divinely guided. This was something in the connection that had to be cleared out in order for the healing to happen, in order for things to be purified, in order to ascend to a new level of consciousness and awareness around the connection. So there is energy here of awakening, of a new beginning, a new start on a spiritual level, like moving up to a new spiritual plane, through moving through this really challenging, really difficult cycle. It's like an end to the mental anguish, an end to the pain, and it may have definitely not felt good going through it. But again, it's divinely guided because this had to be healed. This had to come up for clearing and healing. So divine feminines, if you have been through this energy recently, if you're going through this energy right now, or if this energy comes up, you know, in the days to come around this full moon and equinox, just know that this is divinely guided. You are divinely protected, and this is closing out a really challenging, painful situation that needed to be healed. And the beauty of the Ten of Swords is it is the end. And we have a 37 here with Archangel Shamuel, and that also adds up to a 10. So we have a 10 and a 10, and then the Wheel of Fortune is also a 10. So this is huge. There's some kind of a huge cycle here in the collective that is being closed out and healed. So, you know, give yourself a pat on the back if you have been through this, because this is really challenging energy, but once it's cleared, it's cleared. And you are rising up. You are moving back into your power. You are getting your confidence back. You are getting the clarity. You are coming back into alignment after this is all said and done. So, again, when I'm tuning into this is actually the fourth time, like, I started recording this. I had like 3 false starts. just because when I would tune into the energy, I would start to cry. It's just, it's been challenging. So, like I said, just be gentle with yourself. If you need support, reach out for support. You're not alone, and you can get through this. And just remember, it's divinely guided. It's part of your path on this twin flame journey, on this twin flame mission. And it's powerful healing and transmutation that we're doing right now. Okay, what is the divine feminine feeling regarding her connection with her masculine? Again, we have more reversals. We have door to romance in reverse with the World. So what I'm getting here is, in the divine feminine's heart, how she's feeling about her connection with her masculine is just, again, it's just this really heavy energy I'm feeling, and it's just like this new beginning in love, is this ever going to happen? Like, I wanted this door to romance to open, and it's not opening, and just feeling disheartened, feeling disappointed, and just feeling like this heavy, sad energy in the heart. I'm really feeling that. And I feel like this very well relates back to this Ten of Swords energy. If there has been some kind of an injustice or something that felt like a betrayal, or you're feeling stabbed in the heart, stabbed in the back, your wish that you wanted wasn't fulfilled, things took a turn for the worst. Just wanting this new beginning in love and feeling like it's just not going to happen. And with the World card, in this deck, the World card has to do with limiting thoughts. This could also, be similar to, like in the tarot, where it is a cycle, an emotional cycle, a heart cycle that needed to be closed out here for healing. But with this, the meaning of this card in this particular deck, it's really about limiting thoughts. So I feel like this goes back to this Ten of Swords. Swords are thoughts. Perhaps this is some kind of limiting beliefs that the feminine has had that have been impacting the way that she's perceiving her connection, or I don't know. I think it's going to look different for everyone. But basically, this World card is telling me that there's some kind of limiting thoughts here that are creating this door to romance in reverse, where it's just like needing to get a right perspective, seeing the bigger picture. If you look, this person is down here on this pier in the dark and is looking up at the whole world here. So it's like taking a step back, seeing the situation from this observer perspective, where it's not so personal, where you can kind of pull back from it a little bit and see the bigger picture. And just sometimes, it helps me when I can get in a space where I can look at things like it's a movie playing and I'm just watching the movie and I'm a character in the movie. It's kind of like that observer energy. So I just feel like there's just a lot of energy of awakening here. So there's some kind of awakening happening in the Divine Feminine's heart, some kind of major closeout of a cycle of mental pain and anguish. But ultimately, this is a card of like awakening, of expansion, expanding your perception, expanding your thoughts about this love, about the possibility to have a new beginning for this door to open. And this is a 33, and 33 is answered prayers. 33 is adds up to 6, which is the Lovers, that harmony, that balance, that equilibrium. And we have a 29, which is 11, so awakening, manifestation. How are you having, very narrow, limited thinking, or are you having very expansive, open thinking? Are you keeping an open mind about this connection before you just shut this door? This is heart awakening, heart expansion through how you're perceiving the connection. And then clarifying this, we have Page of Wands in reverse with the door to romance in reverse. So I feel like some divine feminines are just really feeling like when is my divine masculine going to wake up? Maybe she sees him as being like immature. This could also be just feeling like really scattered, really imbalanced emotionally or in the heart space. And just, this is a page, so this is a very youthful energy, an energy that needs to grow and develop and learn. So I feel like maybe some of the divine feminines are feeling this about their masculine, or maybe this is something within her own heart, where whatever she's going through, it is it is a new beginning that's happening in her heart, but it is coming from this space of awakening energy, where it is igniting a brand new passion in her heart, a new awareness in her heart about her connection. And then with the World, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like, for some divine feminines, in her heart, she might just feel like, I just get the energy here of like, you know what, I'm just going to do me. I'm just going to pull back right now. I'm going to tend to my own garden. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to nurture my life. I'm going to nurture my hobbies, my passions, my desires. I'm going to just kind of have this own fresh renewal within me, within my heart. I'm going to focus on my own abundance. I'm going to just indulge in my own, beautiful surroundings, the luxuries, the little luxuries that I have in life. I'm just going to do me, and I'm just going to take some time to really, get perspective here, as I am nurturing myself, taking care of myself, working on healing. And this is also a card about just being very focused. So being very focused, maybe part of what this is saying is to expand your focus, expand your thinking. I just feel like a lot of heart healing for the feminine, and, raising up of consciousness. We have to remember in these connections that we're going through these challenges for divine reasons. The divine masculine is doing a lot of internal healing work right now, and I feel like the feminine is as well. A lot of heart healing, and I feel like the masculine has really been clearing out a lot of this old emotional baggage from past relationships, past experiences, things that have really hurt him. And so if he is acting out towards the feminine in a way that is creating pain for her, that is healing that needs to happen for her as well. We are mirrors, and we're bringing up and triggering all of this stuff in each other so that we can bring it to the surface and it can be healed and cleared and transformed. So we have to remember that if our masculine is acting out in a way that's creating pain for us, that it is him acting out on his own wounding inside of him that needs to be healed. And then he's triggering what needs to be healed in you. So it doesn't make the pain going away knowing all of that, but it can just give us perspective and bring compassion and understanding and help us get that, observer perspective where we're not taking it on such a deeply personal level, where we're understanding that this is the alchemical love, this is the transformational love, and it's through the pain and the healing and the inner work, that the transformation is happening. So we're divinely designed this way. Our connections are divinely designed this way. We can just keep that in mind as we are moving through these heavy energies and these challenging energies. Okay, what comes to mind when the feminine thinks of her masculine? And we have Angel of Strength, so this just makes perfect sense. She's really got to tap into this inner strength inside of her, this emotional strength, this mental strength, this spiritual strength to, move through these challenges, move through whatever this pain is that is coming up within her to be healed, to close out these old cycles so that we can move up to the next level in our ascension. And I'm noticing this is a 50. 5 is that challenge. 5 is the number of challenge, struggle, conflict, but we move through that. It's the number of change and transformation. So we move through that and we are freed, we are liberated through that change, through that challenge. And then clarifying the Angel of Strength, we have the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. So again, I feel like this is the Divine Feminine really tapping into her own inner fire, her own passion, that's connected with the strength that she has. It's like that Aries energy that's coming in and giving her the strength, igniting her soul to really continue to move forward on this journey. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles, which is bringing in the stability. So it's like through this fire of courage and strength and passion within her, she is finding stability. She's finding emotional stability, mental stability. She's, getting back in touch with her true nature. She's just, she's surrounded by all of this green and this little bunny rabbit here, which is symbolic of abundance and fertility. So I feel like she's just finding the strength to really come back into herself, to find her grounding again, to find her stability again, and, to find her equilibrium again. So yes, very difficult energies, lots of shifting, but it's all for the higher good. Okay, so the Union energy is door to value. So this is the new beginning. This is the doors opening after the struggle, after the challenge, after the transmutation, after the alchemical healing that we've been doing. This is the new door opening. This is the new beginning coming in. This is the fresh start. This is just opening up to so much of the beautiful golden light, taking the heavy, dense, challenging 3D lead and transmuting it and transforming it into this beautiful, divine, spiritual golden light, this elevation of awareness, this elevation of consciousness. And so these beautiful red doors, red, symbolic of passion, opening up to this beautiful new beginning within the connection. So we've been closing out really challenging cycles, but this beautiful new beginning, this beautiful door is opening for us as a result of all of the challenges that we have moved through and the healing that we've done. So it's very abundant. There's a lot of coins and money floating around here, so I feel like this is just more like an emotional abundance or energetic abundance within the connection. Possibly physical abundance coming in too, new job opportunities or new streams of income flowing in for the twins. And then clarifying door to value, we have 3 cards. We have Queen of Wands, 5 of Wands, and the Chariot. So with this new beginning that's coming in, what's clarifying that is this Queen of Wands, which is the energy of the passion and the confidence. She's very, this queen, she's very confident, just like the king. We have, whoops, my chariot card just flew across the table. What does that tell you? Talk about forward movement. We have the king and the Queen of Wands both showing up here in this reading. So this is the divine partners. This is the twin flames. Wands represents fire. So we have the queen flame and we have the king flame, both showing up together in this reading. So a lot of fire and passion moving in, especially with the sun moving into Aries. And then we have the Five of Wands, which is more fire energy. So it's like moving through these challenges, rising up into our confidence, getting our confidence back, to move through these challenges, to rise above the conflicts. There's these men here pulling on this rope like a tug of war. So it's whatever this tension is in the connection, whatever this conflict is in the connection, getting the confidence to work through that, to transcend that, to transmute that, to heal that. And then the Chariot, things moving forward, getting the willpower and determination to move forward. And we have the yin and the yang here. So the masculine white horse, the feminine black horse for the yin and the yang. And so it's the yin yang energy uniting and moving forward. So really beautiful energy here to clarify this new beginning for the union. So transcending the challenge, moving into forward movement towards this beautiful, abundant beginning. Okay, so that wraps up the cards here. Now I would like to share a romance message for us from the Divine Love Letters books. And then we will wrap up with spiritual advice and guidance. So these are the Divine Love Letters books. They are available on Amazon. They are created by Nikki from the Divine Love Crystal Grid. Nikki is actually working on an amazing project right now. If you're interested, I really encourage you to check out her YouTube channel, or you can email her directly about this opportunity. She is working on a book, and she's compiling twin flame stories from people all over the world. So if you feel inspired to share your story, definitely get in contact with her, because she is working on creating another book. And it's anonymous, so you don't have to say who you are. You don't have to be in union. She gives you a form. It's just super straightforward and easy to fill out. You know, how did you meet? What signs and synchronicities do you get? You know, just really little key points of things from your journey. And it's just really to bring inspiration, healing, and transformation to all of us as a collective through connecting with other twin stories and really being inspired by them and seeing, you know, how beautiful these connections are. And for me, I'm lucky because I get to talk to twins all over the world, and every twin flame story is unique, and every twin flame story has its own magic and miracles and beauty and synchronicities, and it's just, I think it's wonderful that Nikki's doing this. So anyway, if you feel guided, you can email her at divinelovecrystalgrid@gmail.com. Let her know you want to submit your story. You need to do it by March 20th, so coming up here very soon. And yeah, I'm sure she would love to hear from you. So, okay, that being said, I am going to read a romance message. These are channeled letters that Nikki did from Twin Flames to Twin Flames. And they're just very inspirational. So what I did is I added up all of the numbers from the energy of the union. and I came up with number 43. So I'm reading letter number 43, and I have volume 1 and 2. My love, my life, my every breath I take, my oxygen, my lifeline to showing me who I truly am. I love you with everything that I am, everything that I have ever been, and everything that I am yet to become, because of you. You are what makes me. You are the reason for life, for love, for passion, for feeling there is a purpose to this crazy existence we call life. You are all my questions answered in one look into your eyes, and it's as if you have given me the keys to the universe, and you have opened the door to the secret treasure chest. Like the lion, the witch, and the wardrobe going into Narnia, you bring the magic. You bring the light. You bring the rainbow and the happy ever after. You make my life real and make me want to have the most extraordinary life that we can have. I want to do all my adventures with you. Let me love you. Open your heart to love. Open your heart to me. Open your heart to this great love. Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to read 43 in volume 2. I do desire you. I do want you in a romantic, everlasting, loving way. I just can't make the first move. I get gripped by fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of making the first move. It gets built up in my head to the biggest deal. It's so important. It's the biggest thing I have ever done in my life. The thing that I have wanted the most. So it's scary. And I talk myself into doing it. And I replay it in my head over and over again. And then when it comes to it, I chicken out. My nerves get the better of me. I feel like a little kid again who fancies you and is frightened to make the first move. It's because I'm mad about you. Very cute. So that just, to me, both of those really speak to this passion and this fire and this desire of how much we long and want to be with our beloved, and just how they ignite all of this energy and fire and desire and passion inside of us, and just really bring out all of these feelings. So, okay, well, let's wrap up with spiritual advice and guidance, and then we will close out this reading. So, for the Divine Masculine, the advice and guidance is orphaned. So this card, there's something about the energy of this card, it just makes me want to cry. Like if you just look at this little bird in this nest, it's just so alone. Its head is down. It just feels so sad and lonely. So I feel like some of the Divine Masculines are just in this energy of feeling like struggling with wounds of abandonment, fear of abandonment, and feeling alone. So the essential meanings of this card are a sense of loss, an identity crisis, recognizing that you don't fit in, the need to belong, uncertainty about your place. So I'm going to read the Oracle's message, and then I will read the relationship message. It says, we were all meant to have connections with other people within our families, society, and the larger culture. No man is an island. And it's important to recognize when being, quote, a part of, rather than, quote, separate from, is essential to your well-being. The issue at hand is the need to find where you fit in. Be true to your core truths and values. Perhaps you no longer identify with a group or community the way that you did before, and you need to find a new situation. You might be feeling a deep sense of loss or confusion. Address the need for belonging and know that you will find your place with others of like mind and spirit. It is okay to let go of the pressure to fit in. Not everyone will understand you. It is time to move on. So I really feel like this is a lot of the divine masculines that have been going through their spiritual awakening. And when we go through our spiritual awakening, we start to realize that the people that we thought were our friends aren't really our friends, or we start to realize that the people that we thought were our community or our family or whatever, our religious group or whatever community or group or place that we thought we belonged, we start to see things differently, we feel different, we're changing our thoughts, we're changing who we are. We're like the caterpillar transforming into the butterfly. And so I feel like the divine masculine is in this deep spiritual awakening and transformational process, and he's looking at his whole world differently, and he's not sure where he fits in anymore. And he's starting to realize that where he thought he fit in isn't where he really belongs. And that can feel really confusing and lonely and isolating when you're in that place. It's, part of, if you want to call it the dark night of the soul, or just, part of the spiritual awakening process. So let's see what the relationship message says. It says, as you shift and evolve and commit to your own growth, you long for support, but may be disappointed and hurt by others who are not providing what you feel you deserve. Perhaps you are drifting away from this relationship because you are in a different stage of personal growth. Perhaps you are in a new, turn the page. Perhaps you are in a new relationship and discovering that you do not share the same values and beliefs. So you feel left out, unable to get to that intimate place of safety and belonging. Take heart, as Spirit knows you, and Spirit loves you, and will steer you in the direction of those who accept you as you are, without having to be artificial or without having an agenda. Do not compromise yourself in order to belong. It won't be worth the price. So I feel like this is some divine masculines that are in karmic connections and really realizing that this isn't really where they belong or who they fit with, or that they don't resonate with this person, where maybe their ego initially thought this was for them because they were looking at things in like a more superficial way. Or maybe this is just, I feel like it's just a lot of like that storm warning card where it was just these old ideas, these old belief systems, these old thought patterns, these old emotional patterns, these insecurities, the shame, the guilt, just things that have really been keeping him a prisoner of his own mind, of his own wounding. And it's like he wants to come out of that. He wants to have this connection. That's this, this Archangel Ariel card. It's like having this beautiful intimacy, having this deep connection, having this sense of belonging. We have basic fundamental human needs, and these basic fundamental human needs, in order to feel loved, we need to feel safe, we need to feel a sense of belonging, we need to feel seen and heard and known. And when you are, wearing a mask or putting up a facade and not aligned with your truth, then it's really hard to feel true love and connection in your life. And so, yeah, I just feel like this is the divine masculine really working through this and really healing this and really awakening to that the divine feminine is his home. That is where his soul feels a sense of belonging. And that he has to let go of all of the artificial, superficial, ego-based stuff and let that dissolve and get to the core truth that his feminine is his home, is where he fits in, where he belongs. So, yeah, just a very, I don't know, it really just like hits me in the heart and soul when I see that and when I connect with that. But, like we see here, the sun is coming out. The sun is coming, the light is coming in, this beauty and this innocence and, this beautiful connection. It's all there. So I just think it's part of the healing that's happening for the masculine right now. Okay, so what is going on for the divine feminine? What is the advice and guidance for her? So we have co-create. Creativity, art, inspiration, fruition, and manifestation. So the Oracle's message says, you may not consider yourself a creative person, but in fact, you are creating your reality every moment of every day through your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, intentions, and actions. Yet you must consider that you do so in partnership with spirit, consciousness, God, or whatever name you call your higher power. You are a spark of this intelligence that works through you, nudging you with inspired thought and intuitive guidance. You are a paintbrush that co-creates a beautiful, unique expression of your own individuality blended with universal spirit. You are a product of divine inspiration, and now you are aligned with that inspiration to create miracles. When you view your life as art and know that you co-create it, only beauty and grace will result. Prepare to be amazed. So that was the Oracle message. I'll read the relationship message, but I just want to say this totally ties into what I was trying to explain earlier, where I was talking about taking that step back, watching everything unfold as if it were a movie, where you can be in the observer mind, be in the higher perspective and observing it from that place. Notice how this leopard is way up high on this edifice here, this building. He's way up high. He has this higher perspective. And there's also this owl on this tightrope here. So also up in the air at this higher perspective, and owls represent wisdom. So it's through this higher perspective and understanding that the wounding the divine masculine is bringing up within you is divinely guided as part of the journey. He's acting out of his woundedness. And we are mirroring each other. We are mirroring the pain in each other, and it's all for the healing. It's all for the transformational love. So yes, it is painful when we're going through it. It's confusing, it's heartbreaking, it's disappointing, it's heavy. But when we feel, we heal. And so when we can reach for this higher perspective and this wisdom and get a whole perspective on it that way, it can help us transcend the victim mentality of like, I'm a victim, I'm hurt, somebody did something to me. That's that victim mentality, and we need to transcend that as twins. It is essential and critical for us to transcend that in order to move into union. So really powerful message here. I just hope that this makes sense and is, hitting home with some of you. Okay, so now I'll read the relationship message. Connections of the heart serve to inspire you. opening you up to new ideas that you would never have come up with on your own. You are looking in a mirror, held up by this experience and seeing yourself in an unexpected way. Who is this extraordinary being looking back at you? You are going to be so happy that you kept your heart open. Your love is a unique work of art, the very embodiment of beauty. So, again, it's looking at this connection as your twin is your mirror. Your connection is like this beautiful masterpiece that is constantly shifting and changing and molding, like, clay being sculpted into something beautiful and magical and miraculous, and it's like you're working with the divine is working through you to create this masterpiece. And I think it's just really important for the feminine to remember to connect with spirit for healing. When she's in a challenging place, when she's working through heavy energies, God is always there for us, higher power, spirit, whatever that is for you. Really connecting with that can give you that strength, can give you that courage, can give you that perspective. And I just think this is so key for the divine feminine in her journey of awakening and empowerment, is getting this higher perspective and turning to her higher power in these times of challenge, to get her strength from there, and to remember she's in this dance with God, she's in this dance with her masculine and co-creating this beautiful union. So it's just really beautiful. Your connection with your twin is a work of art, and you are in this beautiful dance with the divine, and you are co-creating your union. Even though, in the 3D, it can be really challenging sometimes. So just, keeping that perspective. All right. Well, I hope that this was helpful. I hope it brought you healing, guidance, and clarity. Again, if you feel guided to purchase a session, you can find that information below. And I'm just sending you all so much love and light, and wishing you many blessings at this Libra full moon and spring equinox or autumn equinox if you're in the southern hemisphere. So take good care. Bye-bye.